When markets move, Stephen E. Orr takes the chair. From the White House to Wall Street, he's spent decades at the intersection of policy, markets, and real capital. And he's seen firsthand how institutions use data behind closed doors. Now, as founder of Quasar Markets, his mission is to pull those signals into the open so everyone can see what really moves the markets. This is Stephen E. Orr, Big Beat on Wall Street. Let's filter the future live.
Good morning, everybody. Live from Las Vegas, Nevada, Quasar Markets Live. We are talking about the markets today. Look, it's all about one thing. It's all about what is the Powell going to say. It's not about whether or not he is going to lower rates. We already know he's going to lower rates. It's about what's happening next. And so here we are. Let's figure this out. What is he going to say? All right. So if I break down, and look, we know that Powell so far has been quiet. We know that there's a quiet period between now, and we understand that after Wednesday, that blackout period will end. Powell will speak. He's going to talk about two things. He's going to talk about inflation still out there. He's going to talk about jobs. You know that the wages are still out there, but job losses are picking up. And so, look, this is not happening on a global scale that he's going to talk about. He's going to talk about it just in the perspective of the United States. He's not going to say, well, look, other countries are cutting rates. You heard from Steve Flanagan yesterday talking about how rates in Switzerland right now are at zero. Right? Are they going to lower them below zero? Is Japan going to raise them up? He's not going to say, okay, well, Japan did this, Switzerland did this, Australia did this, the RBZ, Royal Bank of New Zealand did this. No, he's going to talk about it from the U.S. perspective. And now he's got a political side of this that he's been talking about right now. And look, I think what's going to happen very simply is he's going to lower rates, say that it wasn't quite the thing that they were going to do, but they're going to lower rates one more time, and then they're going to stop. And I think that's what people are worried about right now is not this one. It's the one coming in front. Now, if you've been paying attention to us and you've been listening to us, you know dang well that we have been talking about what is going to the next version of this, right? How is it playing out? And we saw back about a month ago that the chances of a rate cut were 50-50, right? We did not know that was going to be the case. And so when we look at what's next, then, okay, all of a sudden the chances of a rate cut dropped very fast, and all of a sudden it was like, well, I don't know, and the market took a dive, right? We saw that, and then of course it slowly gained back, but not to the level that we thought it was going to be. So here we go. I think you're going to see that rate cut tomorrow. There are going to be some serious questions. This isn't going to be a lollipop question and answer session with him tomorrow. He's going to be sweating some bullets. He's going to have to explain his system. President Trump was asked yesterday what he thought what his view of the economy was and how the economy is doing, and he said A plus 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 plus. Really? Everybody feels that same way? I don't think so. There is a misnomer here in the markets, and I think one of the things that you're seeing right now is that very thing. So when I look at the markets right now, I have to say two things. I'm ignoring the noise. And that's just what you need to understand. You need to ignore the noise. And the noise right now is saying that, well, if Powell does for January, what is he going to actually say? Right? What's he going to actually do? And I think what he's going to say, and I've had this question and answer with so many people, what it is that he's going to do. All right, what is he going to say? All right. And I'd like to hear some comments from you guys too as well. But for me, a global version view of the economy. And he hasn't been doing that lately. He has been saying, well, the US data, which they don't even have, right? They're using alternative data in a lot of ways. So they're catching up now. Is still saying the same thing. Consumer confidence is way down. We are seeing housing at the most unaffordable place since 2008. We're seeing bankruptcies at 2008 levels. And we're seeing unaffordability and inflation. This is the very definition of stagflation. people losing their jobs, and inflation's still up. So no, Mr. President, the economy is not at an A plus 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 plus. I wouldn't even give it a D minus, to be honest with you. Um, but the things that he's put in place, these tariffs, are changing. The structure of the trade is changing. So I do think that there are some bright green shoots, as Greenspan say, they're green shoots. So I want to see those put into play before we see anything else. But that's where I'm at right now. Quite frankly, here we are. I think this morning I have been looking at a few stocks this morning. I think the markets here are pretty quiet. As most people know, I bought Netflix yesterday. I'm in at 97.50. Um, I'm still going along there on Netflix. Looking at a few stocks here this morning. Pretty quiet here. Silver now at 58.79 now. So we are now really below where I thought we'd be right now, 58.79. I really thought that the top here was at 58.50, at $59 an ounce. Obviously, that's a problem. So I think silver's still pushing higher here. Bitcoin 90,500, and we're still moving there a little bit. So I want to see some pickup there in the markets. Dollar yen now sitting at 156.36. US oil there now at 70.28. So oil still slipping a bit. The Dixie now at 99.12. It is holding fairly steady here. So I don't really see a whole lot here. Nvidia slipping or pushing up just a wee bit. Boeing slipping a little bit. Tesla slipping a little bit here. And Disney 107.88. That was the one that I liked at 105. So anything under that, anything under 100 is a buy for me, but it's holding here at the 105 handle here, probably because of the streaming issues here going on. Obviously, WBD still in the Barbarians of the Gate, 27.50 now, only up 1% today, as it slipped out that high of the hostile bid from Paramount. So that's a big question right now. IBIT down 0.39% as Bitcoin down a little bit. Amazon slipping a little bit here this morning. I was asked this morning and late last night at the Prosper Trading Academy. We're here live at the Prosper Trading. Quite frankly, at Prosper Trading, we are going to be talking about a few things. I saw on the agenda AI. I'm looking at the big conference schedule. Look how big that conference schedule is. Two-sided there, 2 days, full day, full 2 days. Super excited about that. Also, I'll be speaking with a very cool guy, David Meltzer. You know him better as Jerry Maguire, and I'll be doing a podcast with him as well as one with the Sock Drawer podcast as well. I'm excited about those today too as well. Lisa Begley. All right. As I was saying earlier, AI is still in the forefront. Nothing has changed with AI. What is going to be different now is how we implement AI. And a lot of firms are now still trying to catch up with AI. They're not really understanding AI. But as of this morning, I was understanding that I saw new numbers come out. 71% of companies right now have integrated AI in some way into their company. 29% of those companies have not integrated AI. And I was talking about some people last night about the AI world and had they implemented, and the answer was, well, yes, but we're not really sure how to use it. That's the key. And you're seeing education of that is a problem. So that is what I'm worried about with AI is they're not sure how to actually use it to make them a better trader, to make them a better person, to make them more efficient. And that's been a big deal. So I do like I still like Palantir. Now Palantir's come back a little bit enough, but they have major contracts now with the government, and they're starting to expand to other businesses. So I do like that a lot too as well. Microsoft down a little bit this morning here. Caterpillar still falling. John Deere still falling. I think I've talked about that over here a few times. I got asked again last time about Qualcomm. I've been asked a little bit about Oracle. Still not a big fan of it. This old tech trying to catch up, and they're a little bit behind. What is interesting is the play behind Paramount and WBD. Right, the son of Larry Ellison, David Ellison, is the CEO of Paramount, and they're going after um, WBD in a way that's more political. Whereas Larry Ellison went to the president to talk to President Trump about saying that the deal with WBD was terrible. We're a much better situation. So they've turned it political very quickly, and that's where we're at now, right? So interestingly enough, this situation here could get very political. So That now we got to get into some of the weeds on that eventually. Okay. Looking at McDonald's up a little bit here today. Apple still up a little bit. Apple holding steady here. I expect Apple's numbers to be very good coming into the winter. I expect those holiday sales to be very big. iPhone 17 Pro Plus Max. I have one. I can tell you that they're probably going to sell quite heavily. That's going to be a very big deal. All right. And then Nvidia stuff up a little bit here, still seeing that a little bit. But yeah, I think the markets are pretty much just waiting tomorrow on. Now, you know what's interesting? I've been watching and keep my eye hot here on. If you look at a 1 month chart of Eli Lilly, the weight loss drugs. And you know, I took that profit about a month ago, just about half a month, about 3 weeks ago, as as I know the weight loss drugs are pretty popular. Trust me, I'm on them myself. But I'm also looking to see if they can come back with the new pill, as well as Novo Nordisk with Wegovy. So right now, I'm starting to kind of like it here. So let's see if Eli Lilly. I'm going to keep my eye on Eli Lilly as a buy again pretty soon. So that's one of the stocks that I am definitely looking at. Um, yeah. Okay, QQQ is down 0.2%. Um, I know that there's quite a few people saying, "Oh, but we're almost at all-time highs." If it can't break those all-time highs, we could just get slaughtered here, and be careful here. But I've said this, and I agree with this. We're going to have a Santa Claus rally. Um, it's going to happen, and so several reasons, and I can go through them a little bit later. But I think some of the main reasons that we're going to have this rally is because of window dressing. A lot of these companies, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Cantor Fitzgerald, you name them, they're going to have to prove that all this cash in the balance sheet has got to come off. There's one thing that they don't like, that's cash. They got to be invested, right? And they need to be invested in companies that they like and companies that they think are going to do well. And I think you're going to see that window dressing come in last week. Now, remember, Santa Claus rally is not between now and Christmas. Okay, it's the day after Christmas, the first trading day after Christmas, going into the first week of January. That's when the Santa Claus rally can happen, and it almost always happens, right? It's a rarity that doesn't happen. Now, I saw from bar chart this morning talking about that if the Fed begins to cut rates again, like they have been, there is a 20 out of 20 chance, 100% chance that 2026 will be very, very good. Okay. Um, I agree that the markets will be up more than they are now, but I need to see more than that. I think politics is going to take a very big role as we go into the election year. So I am positioning myself with major strangles, all right, on options, and we can talk about that over the next few weeks. Strangles keep the price down in between, and I think what I'm gonna do is put leaps in. So very large positions, as long as they stay in between this and in the end of the year, I think I'll be very good. And that's how I'm positioning myself for next year. So we need to think about that for next year, keeping our eyes very tight on that. All right. Looking at the Qs here this morning, still Qs, still not quite moving a little bit. I think 622.86 this morning as a little bit of a pop there here coming up, but I'm not really shaky on this day. And I think today's gonna be a very quiet trading day up until obviously 2 o'clock. As we all know, 2 o'clock will be D day for Powell and taking some questions from him, right? So we'll see here, but I don't think you'll see too much trading going on. Um, yeah, videos looking a little better here. Tesla down almost 4% yesterday in the close, down a little bit more today, another 1% here. I think Tesla's kind of hit its top here. 97.17 there on Netflix. All right, I like that. Um, Still talking about Trump greenlighting the Nvidia chip sales there. So I am keeping my eye on there. 25% tariff on the Nvidia chipsets that we're selling to China. Um, so this morning I put out a post that I think we need to keep our eye on more than anything. And that is what I've always called Fifth Fleet diplomacy. But now I think we need to add Seventh Fleet too as well. The Seventh Fleet, as we all know right now, is in the South China Sea. Also looking at Japan. We have drills right now with them. We've got drills with Korea, drills with Malaysia. I believe it's an anniversary there too as well. But the Fifth Fleet usually keeps the Strait of Hormuz, right, clear. That way, Iran can't close up the strait, so that oil can continue to move. As we all know, the attack on the USS Cole, there's a lot of attacks that have happened in that. So the Fifth Fleet's usually there, but we're now seeing the Seventh Fleet now in uh, off the coasts and the Asian markets, and we're seeing Venezuela also seeing a plethora of ships there. So we are now in a three theater war. So we need to be very, very careful, in keeping our eyes very tight, because things could happen very quickly in any of those places. The war drums of war are really beating right now. Um, I do like the carrying the big stick, speak softly and carry a big stick. So I do think that that's working quite well. But right now, I'm a little concerned about the Seventh Fleet and just how much is there right now, the number of drills that are happening there. So, and trust me when I say China is watching too. So uh, when I watch this side of things, I do have a list of Twitter feeds and social media feeds that I do keep on top of. James, obviously, if you don't know, you can go to website james.com and see, keep it's pretty good. Army Times, US, Navy Times, Stars and Stripes, those places will keep you pretty informed of what's going on in the military and the movements. Obviously, won't tell you exactly where the movements are and how they're doing it and what the strikes are doing, but we'll give you a better, clearer picture of that. Good morning, Zora. Sorry to miss you in Vegas. I heard you're not coming to Vegas just to this. So sorry to miss you here. It was good. I was looking forward to seeing you. All right. We're waiting here, keeping our eye here on the markets here. QQQ's still pushing here a little bit. So let's keep our eyes here. 622.82 here. All right. All right. Ethereum now 3113. I was talking to Howard last night. Howard says anything under 3,000 on Ethereum looks pretty good here. Hopefully Howard will make it, and he'll be here a little bit. Dixie 99.15 here. Silver slipping a little bit, 58.67. Yeah, keeping our eye. And 97.30 now on Netflix. I expect Netflix to get over 97.50. I might be taking profit today on Netflix. I don't think Netflix is going to get the deal. And if they don't get the deal, then the price could really push. So that's my thesis there. Okay, Boeing still flat on the day, Google flat. But looking at Nvidia, 185.55. I'm kind of liking Nvidia here today. Now that the chips are moving freely, and this Seventh Fleet is keeping the thing. So yeah, yeah. Yeah. Howard, yeah, he's coming. I don't know where he's at yet. He is here. Yeah, he's coming. Yes. All right. AMD now up a little bit here, up 1.44%. AMD still pushing a little bit. Last night I was asking about AMD chipsets. Will they pass up NVIDIA? No, they don't have the ability to do it. NVIDIA is on a different level than they are, as well as on the on the more on the service side too, as well, that we don't have. So looking at that too as well. Um, Unity Software, one of my favorites, 4904 yesterday, slipping a little bit. Unity Software looks really good. I've been liking that since the mid 30s, now almost at $50 a share. So because Unity is most of the games, right? You turn on a game, you're gonna see that Unity symbol and that logo in there. Um, Newsmax is pushing up a little bit, 856. That stock was around the $15-$20 handle not too long ago, now under $9, pushing up a little bit today, but still hurting there. Newsmax there. Um, Berkshire Hathaway, 497.23. They're making some big moves there on Berkshire Hathaway. I do like Berkshire Hathaway a little bit here, but not quite there. There you go. Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters is Time's breakthrough of the year. Just came through. Netflix is now your Demon K-pop hunter. I've not seen the show yet. Probably should see a little bit of it, I guess, to understand it, but I don't really understand it. But that's good. VIX up a little bit here, up about 1% here, 31.35 VXX. Qualcomm down a little bit. Intel up a little bit, but down again, almost under 40 handle here. Coca-Cola and Pepsi still fighting it out. The old game mode is fighting it out. And Warner Brothers up 1% here, but it is what it is. All right, my iced is literally on Netflix. I do like Netflix here today. I'm going to say long on Netflix all day today. I don't think I'm going to sell any of it. I think the deal's not going to go through, and that should put Netflix right back up. I was hearing other things, but man, Netflix is killing it with the shows. They really know what to do, and especially with the international sales, has been very, 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 very good. So I do like the international side of Netflix as well, and it's cheap. And with the dollar being so weak as well, I am seeing some international buying of Netflix, meaning that the other countries are using Netflix streaming services. So I do like that too as well. So that's been my thesis on Netflix for a while, and I like it here under 100. I did not like it at 130. For most of you have been following me before pre-split, I liked it under 1,000. I was on Schwab Network talking about that. 1,200, I did not like anymore. It was a little too high, right? 20% move, gotta go. Gotta take a profit, right? But now down here under the 100 handle or under 1,000, it's looking really good. So I do like this now. So under 1,000, I'm liking Netflix, and we're 97.32. So it is pushing up a little bit here this morning. I do think that that's probably some of the short covering a little bit that I think we're seeing. The selling over the last, I mean, for me, the selling was a little bit too much. If you look at the last 5 days, even last month, but the last 5 days, it's been down 12.5%. In the last month, it's down almost 13%, right? So take advantage of this, right? Nothing has changed. And if I look at the last 6 months, it's down 22%. So I do like Netflix here. But over the last year, it's up 4.3%. So it's come back. The Fibonacci sequence has pulled back a bit, and I do like that. It's making a higher low on a 6 month chart. So if you look at right now, unfortunately, I'm not able to pull my charts up right now. But, need a second computer to do that. But I'm out here in Las Vegas. But I can tell you that I'm liking the charts a lot. Hmm. And of course, the revenue in Netflix is up 17.2%. I mean, give me a break. This is not indicative of why a stock should fall 22%, right? So post report, down 22%. I do like this still march up. Now look, if I look at a 5 year chart, I mean the stock was under 25, right? At the very low back there in 2022, but pushed straight up. I'm starting to believe that this is where it's at now. As they look, if you've got the cash to buy a company like Warner Brothers, you've got money to build new studios, and you got new money to put into new shows and high quality shows. I think the problem right now is that people don't want low quality shows anymore, right? They want high quality shows. So that's the key here. Yeah. Yes, Carl, we just talked about it a few minutes ago, right? Kushner being involved in the Paramount Warner Brothers takeover, so Netflix definitely not happening. That's correct. What part of my thesis, right? That the political side of the politics is getting involved. Now, legally, Kushner cannot do that. But um, I don't. Legal in this administration is a very gray line, so not so sure yet. We'll talk about that later. But I don't want to get political. I don't care about the politics side of it. But it's not a little fishy. It is very fishy. Yeah. And I talk about also about the fact that Paramount CEO is David Wright Ellison. That's Larry Ellison's son, and Larry Ellison went to President Trump and asking him to cancel the deal with Warner Brothers and Paramount, getting the deal, and that's what's happening. So I don't think Netflix is going to win. Remember, we don't care. We only care about politics as long as it makes us money, and that's how is it affecting us, right? And in this case, that's exactly how it's affecting us. They're choosing sides, which they shouldn't do. Governments should stay completely out of businesses, but it looks like they can't do that. So, and listen, if anybody's saying, "Oh, it's a Republican Democrat thing," it is not. I have been very, very, very um, harsh on Lena Khan in the last administration and Biden administration about stopping all the mergers and acquisitions. The world needs to move forward and grow. And because of that, that was one of the things that they needed to do. And Lena Khan stopped almost every merger. Just no, we're not doing anything. We're going to go to court. And well, I don't. We spent way too much money going to court, stopping mergers and acquisitions, and now it's hurting us now down the road. So, and because of that, now the companies feel like they have to make mergers and acquisitions like crazy. So that's why I'm saying. What are you thinking, Carlo? You said, but what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Obviously, politics is makes a big play here, and we always talk about politics. We need to make sure we understand that. I have no sides either side. I make fun of both sides, by the way, or three sides, independents too, actually. Um, but we also need to make sure that when they do things that are right, when I think are right, that we make sure that we understand that and we understand how we all have opinions. So you might not agree with mine, or you might not agree with yours, but that's why we have a market, right? And that market is what helps us get there. All right, 3 minutes now until the open of the markets, and we'll keep our eye here on the QQQ. QQQ now 622.28, 622.49. Here we go. We're going to see how the markets move here. But again, my eye is clearly on Netflix, 97. See 97.23 now. So I am keeping my eye here. And Carlos now saying, "Do you prefer mergers or acquisitions for early or late positions?" Um, mm, that's a good question. It's a very good question. It's hard to tell that answer because all mergers and acquisitions are different. The amount of money it's involved, people that are involved, lawyers that are involved, change that. But for me, it needs to make sense. If a company's going to merge, what are they merging for? What are they gaining out of it? Is it just to grow the big company bigger? In Netflix's case, they wanted Warner Brothers for the streaming services of CNN and then the Discovery Channel, all that, and then break those off and make another company. So that works for them. That's smart, and I like that. And if Netflix gets the deal, it's a longer term position for me. But I don't think they're going to get the job done, and I think that's going to be a push. So early is better on this one, but late positions. Okay, late positions. You're going to start to see money start to move into Paramount, move into Warner Brothers. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. All right. All right, here we go. Got about a minute and a half here to the open. Again, my eye 97.06. There is a little bit of selling here in Netflix. I don't think that's the case. I think we push higher today. I really do. I think the selling is probably just a few people trying to take a little bit advantage of it. But I think they're wrong, which is we've been pretty good on the show. If you've been keep following with me, we've been crushing it, and I think that's why we're getting the good numbers. So it's 97.05 now on Netflix. So staying long on Netflix. Boeing slipping a little bit here. Nvidia still flat on the day, but remember we're paying attention to what Powell, not just lowering rates. We know that's happening, but what he has to say, and not just what he has to say in his speech, but the answers to the questions. Those are what I think is going to be the biggest question mark about the future of these rate cuts. So we will keep our eye on that. I'm not too concerned about that too much. All right, here we go. About to open up. Here we go. Got Royal Caribbean down another 1.74%. For those of you who've been watching, paying attention, I literally have been watching Royal Caribbean. I want to see RCL come down a little bit more, and then I will be picking that up too as well. All right, here we go. Want to see a little bit more selling in Royal Caribbean, but once I do that, I'll be buying that stock back up again. Netflix, 96.88, slipping a little bit here. 96.85, just a little bit of a slip there, a little bit of selling. That I don't think that's the case. 96.96. Let's see what it does. But I think we go back on up. 96.93, 96.77, 82, 87, 89. Yeah, 92. I think we go one up. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it today. Keep my eyes here. Bitcoin at 90,171 here. Costco fairly flat on the day. 58.90 now on silver here. Nvidia slipping a little bit. Not Netflix 96.33. There's some selling still going on. Okay. Not too scared. Unity slipping a little bit here. Oops. Domino's Pizza pushing up to the upside here a little bit. Not really much anything. Warner Brothers not really pushing up. I think the deal's getting quieter and quieter over there. 96.52. I think people are realizing what's really going on. Look, this market's gonna be quiet this morning. I don't see much here going on. I am keeping my eye very tight on Royal Caribbean here, folks. Palantir 180.79. Still struggling up there at the 180 handle here. Royal Caribbean down 2% now. 96.85 now on Netflix. If you've been paying attention to me, I've been saying, not scared. I think we're going up. I'm not scared. 692. Let's get back over 97. I think we go on up. Tesla's flat on the day here. Nvidia, CRISPR down a little bit, not much. Q's only down about 0.3%. Pretty quiet morning here. Eli Lilly up about 0.7%. I had a feeling that that was one that's could be pushing here a little bit. 96.74 now on 81. Netflix is traveling pretty fast here. A lot of zero DTEs coming in on this. But I think they're all wrong. I think they're gambling at this point, and I like gamblers. I love it. I love taking their money. Yes. This is what makes me happy when you see stupidity in the markets. Take advantage of stupid traders. I'm not trying to be mean about it. It's just what happens, right? It's a lot of craziness in the markets. If your thesis doesn't change, don't change your position, right? It's one of my rules. And my thesis is still the same, that Netflix won't get this done and the price will go up. So take advantage of dumb traders, okay? Which I do. I don't like to call it that way. It's not fair. It's not fun. But they make really bad decisions. And they use these zero DTEs and they use all these things that they really shouldn't be. They don't really understand the gamma and the vega and all of that. And they usually get burnt. So I want to change that, right? Quasar markets is about changing that, making them a better investor, making them understand the world, understanding where the fifth and seventh fleets are, right? But getting a bigger picture, understanding what's going on in Japan. But that's not how the markets always work. The markets don't care. Markets, as you know, we talked about this a million times. The markets are a machine. They don't care what you think. They're not hugging you if you lost on a trade. They're not, you'll do better next time, right? Get the emotion out. I talk about this all the time. Emotion should not be in any of your trades. If emotion's in your trades, then you're not doing it right. If you get mad because you lost, that's on you, right? If you get happy because you made, great. It's okay to pump your fists and be happy about a trade and be mad, but not where you take it personally. Because it's not a personal thing. The market isn't personal. 96.93 now, 94 now on the highs of the day now with Netflix. Again, I'm telling you, take advantage of that 96, 97. If we break 97 here, I think we will. We'll go right on up, I think. 98, 99, 97.02. There you go. This is kind of what my feeling behind this is. They're going to keep pushing up a little bit all day. But again, remember, this is not about today. This trade's not about today. It's about whether or not that they don't get the deal done. Be careful out there, 96.64. Again, it's just moving fast, right? 30-cent move in Netflix. It's a lot. So, but I think we push right on up. I think it goes right on up. Silver now at 59.07 now. Silver pushing higher here. Bitcoin 90,333. So Bitcoin pushing up as well. Holding a bit here. 96.88. Apple now in the green. I mean, the rate cut's coming, folks. So if you're betting on the rate cut, then you should bet on the rate cut. Warner Brothers only up 19 cents on the day. So I think the news cycle around this is going to have to do its own thing now. It's going to have to work itself out, work itself to the I guess it's going to go to court over this, whether or not they want to fight for that, right? So 96.92. So there's, again, buying the dips. You're seeing people that they can't push it down anymore on Netflix. That's a very good. Capitulations happen on Netflix, I think, and I think this is where it's a good area to be accumulating, and that's what I've been doing. Did it yesterday. Most of my accumulation was yesterday. Silver 59.11, still pushing higher on silver. Most of you know I sold at 58.50, so might be wrong a little bit, but it's okay. I bought at $19. I'm okay with that. Why? Because my thesis was still the same, that there's not enough physical to cover the paper, and it went from 19 to all the way up. So I took my profit and ran. And the key sometimes can be, if you own physical, get out before the very, very top, because then the people that buy gold and silver won't buy it from you. They'll be like, know what? I don't want to take the risk of going higher. So that's one of the risks of that. Yeah. And Netflix still saying green on the day, right? So if there's a problem here, it would be dead red again, but it's not. So all right, Apple still up 0.5% here. BXX up 0.35%. So not a lot of volatility. Warner Brothers up 1 point. Okay, Warner Brothers is now pushing a little bit here. Um, I think you also have to ask the question: is there anybody else that's looking to make a deal? Comcast, I know, stepped out of the deal, so that was an issue, right? They said it was too expensive and they couldn't really make a play for it, so not too worried about it. 59.11 and a half there now on silver, so pushing up 99.12 on the Dixie. Dollar yen now 156.43. We've been talking about dollar yen for a while. 156 is pretty high. I remember last year when I was in Japan. I'm going back to Japan in January, I think. That tells me a lot, right? 156 at 157, all of that I'm excited about, because that's good dollar yen. Bitcoin 90,500. 59.13, 59.14 now on silver, still pushing up here. Netflix 96.50 now, pushing down just a wee bit here. Only 50 cents, 32 cents down on the day. No big deal. Royal Caribbean down 2.2% here. I am getting very interested in Royal Caribbean here. I can tell you that that's usually pushes up. So I am starting to like Royal Caribbean here. I might actually, interestingly enough, might take a flyer here on this. Take a I'm gonna take a flyer on this. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna buy some. No, I think I'm gonna buy some. RCL here, making a play here. RCL. My eye on 246.68 here. I'm liking this here. Making a buy on Royal Caribbean here. All right. I just bought Royal Caribbean, folks. So for those of you who are interested, I just bought Royal Caribbean. So yeah. So now I own Netflix and Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean down as much as it is. I love this, right? Because look, Royal Caribbean, and if those of you don't know, some companies out there, if you own their stock, actually do cool things for you. Royal Caribbean, if you own 100 shares of Royal Caribbean, they'll give you money every time you take a cruise. Disney gives you discounts inside the parks and things. So there's a if you own stock, it's there's also some relationships that you can have with your companies that you own. So it's not just about owning it. Zora grabbed 2.5 points in the future. There you go. Goals exactly. That's exactly right, Zora. You have to have goals. And I tell this all the time. When you set goals for yourself, make sure that when you do that, right? Have a goal for the year. Okay, or 220 trading days a year. Have a yearly goal. Break it down into months, break it down into weeks, and then days. You already know your day, right? But if you don't hit your daily target, don't worry. Don't try to say you got to make it up. Just continue try to hit that. Be consistent. How do I know when to hold on longer and when to get out while looking at the charts? Okay, this is a very good question. All right. Your charts aren't everything. And I tell people all the time, don't pearl clutch your charts, right? Have a thesis. When you buy a stock, now trading the cues is different, but if you're owning stock or you're owning equities, silver, you're looking at futures, whatever, have a thesis. Explain to me, as if I'm a 5-year-old, why you're buying that. If you can't tell me why you're buying a stock, you can't tell me why you're buying an equity. I'm buying Netflix because why? I laid it all out, right? If you can't tell me that in one sentence as a 5-year-old, why am I buying this stock? You don't need to ever own it. Okay. It's one of my rules, right? Know what you own. Okay. It's trade what you know. If you understand, I understand Royal Caribbean because I cruise on it. I understand Netflix because I use it. Right. This is what Warren Buffett said forever. But to get out of a chart, to get out of a stock, how do I know? You have, before you even get in that position, you better know what your exit strategy is. Every time I'm in it, that my buy on this on Royal Caribbean, and guess what? It's already up. Boom, right? Because my thought process is Netflix is too cheap because of the deal, right? They're under $1,000 or under 100 at the 10-1 split. My thought process here on Royal Caribbean is the price is down too much. It's a good buy here. I like it. And guess what? I think a lot of people are going to cruise in the wintertime. It's cold. What are they going to do? Right. So I like that. And I've used the charts, and I've used a thesis and my theme. And now we're at 248.32. I'm up $3 since I've said this. Right. My thought process is probably 255, somewhere there. I've already told you where I'm thinking about getting out. Mm. But I'm going to stay long on Royal Caribbean. I think Royal Caribbean got really beaten up to 240, 247.95, 248 there. I like this. Yeah. Gold. I mean, obviously, Goldman Sachs lowering his target from 334 to 275 on on them. I think is just wrong. But yet they still maintained a buy on them. I don't like those analysts are wrong. The first four letters of analyst spell, right? Yeah. Um, Wells Fargo giving them overweight. Yeah, I like this 248.05, right? So look if your people, if these companies like them and they've been beaten up, fantastic, right? Take the profits, great. But the window dressing is going to put some money into Royal Caribbean. So yeah. Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, yeah. All right. Royal Caribbean 248.75 now, almost 249 here. Oh my, 249.05. Hey, for those of you paying attention. And it didn't take very long to even get that money, did it? Um, that was a quick trade here. Yeah. Keep my eye on Royal Caribbean here. Wow. Yeah, 246.44 was my buy, and we're already up there. So, but I'm going to say long. I'm going to say long on it. I'm not going to get out of it. 249. I like this. Netflix 96.55. Not a big deal there. Tesla's now green on the day, 441.14 there. Silver 59.12, and Bitcoin at 90,145. So again, a very quiet market here. Thanks, Art. Keep my eye still on. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty quiet market here today. I'm not seeing much at all. Meta down 1.67%. It's had a heck of a run, so I'm not touching it. Um, Warner Brothers only up 1%. So if you think that they're going to push, it's not happening. So yeah, 59.14 now on silver. Yeah, 96. I mean, look at Netflix, down 2 cents, right? After all that morning crazy move, nothing, right? So I think the thesis right here, the theme right here around Netflix is starting to abate now. And I think we're good. 96.90, pushing back up again. Boeing now just barely red. And the market's not doing anything. Nvidia only down 0.33%. I mean, there's something here going on. Like they're waiting, right? So it's like 59.15 now on silver now, pushing, still pushing here today. So I'm not much of this market's kind of fun. 248.92 now. Can we get back over to 249? Be nice again. Get back to 250 here. Might take some profits. Tesla now turning green here. 249.05 now on Royal Caribbean. 249.17. Hey guys, hope you really enjoy. 249.21 now on Royal Caribbean. Wow. All right, you know what, folks? That's a nice little run. Again, when I talked about it, knowing when to get in, when to get out, that to me is telling me a lot, right? So 249.34. I did like this move here this morning. Um, and I think that uh, 249. We're now seeing 249.50. I gotta take my profit. I mean, that's crazy, guys. That's really good money there. $4. And I was, yeah, good trade day there on this. Loving this. That was really good. Good move. And I did it live in front of everybody. 96.70 when I got out at. Look at that. The stock was down over 2.5%, and now it's flat on the day. And I did this in just a few minutes, right? My thesis there and the trading was silly, and look at that. So very well done if you were paying attention to me. We are now out of that now, and I'm now paying attention back again on Netflix here again. But um, Apple turned positive here, but 249.75 now on 249.81 now on Royal Caribbean. Could go to 250. That's kind of where I thought the price would go, 250. But look, I'm not going to complain too loudly. There it is, 250, flat on 250 there. So nice move here. I think 250 is probably worth some sell. Oh, 259.39, it broke right through. Congrats if you're still with Royal Caribbean. Hey, that is part of my problem. If you don't know, I do make mistakes. I do get out sometimes too soon, which is fine by me. But sometimes not. 250.09. There we go. All right. Nvidia trying to get positive here, but not quite there yet. Bitcoin still struggling at the 90,150 handle here. So, yeah. Royal Caribbean still holding at 250.16, down about a couple bucks here, 0.89%. I'm like still not going to get back into it right now. My CRISPR thesis here, 55.91, down about 2.5%. It made its run a couple of weeks ago when I crushed it, and that was my call, and I nailed that one. Took a profit there too as well. Liking that too as well. 96.68 now on Netflix. So yeah, 250.24 now on Royal Caribbean. It might actually go positive on the day. Who knows? Especially if Powell gives it good rate cuts, because Royal Caribbean does revolve and they need credit, right, in order to buy new ships and make new ships and bigger ships, and so that would be good for them. So we'll see if Powell talks about cutting rates in the future. I don't think that's going to be the case, so be careful out there. Qualcomm down another 1.16% here. On the month, it's down. It's flat on the month. In the last 6 months, it's up 14%. I think Qualcomm's done its thing, but yeah, App Lovin' APP at $700 a share now, up 1.43%. 250.77. We may go positive here on Royal Caribbean. So those of you, I'm glad. Hopefully you picked some RCL up there. Wow, very good. Lululemon is getting very interesting to me. If you look at the 1 year chart on Lululemon, it's down 64%. To me, that is very interesting here. Um, I know that all the big analysts are downgrading Lululemon to sell and underperform and all those things. Um, but sometimes I have to ask the question, are people not wearing Lululemon anymore? I don't think that's the case. Remember, this is a $400 stock. At one point in 2024, it was $600. Today it's at 183.50. So if you still like Lululemon, the company, and you like the clothing line, and you think they'll still sell, hey, this is a pretty good place to be. SPY is down 51%. So Lululemon is getting very interesting. Royal Caribbean 250.38, still trying to get up there, but I don't think that it will. I think we're pretty much at the rate of where it should be, 250 a share. Netflix flat on the day, right? It's a good trading vehicle, you know. And what's interesting is if you wanted to put a strangle on this one, I could see that a long-term Netflix strangle where both sides, that could be very interesting. Could buy a put and a call, right, to keep it tight. So and take one of them off when one goes, right? So silver 59.21, up almost 2% now. It is still pushing here. Bitcoin 90,300. So yeah. All right, we're coming into the top of the hour here pretty soon. WBD now up 1.3%. So they're really not thinking that there's going to be another bidder coming in. And I agree with that. I don't know that another bidder would wants the price is kind of high right now. Mike Shore, dude, listen, I love Mike Shore. Those of you who don't know, he's a prop trading. The guy knows options. Okay, go see Mike Shore. I will see him later today. I saw him last night. Give him a big hug, saying hello. Guys over at prop trading love them. They're really good stuff. So thanks, Mike. I appreciate you reposting the stream. And I will see you in a little bit, my man. Yeah, keeping our eye here, 96.71, only down 8 cents here. Tesla now up $3 here, up 0.73%. Tesla could be a buy here in a little bit here. But I really think Tesla's overbought. I don't like the thesis here right now. Microsoft only down 50 cents, down 0.08%. That tells you everything, right? That the market's really just not moving today. Um, Snowflake. Snowflake is getting to be interesting to me. If you look at the 6-month chart on Snowflake, right down here at 220 is a very interesting place for me. So I am looking at, there you go. Zora saying hello to Mike Shore there. The other one I'm going to keep my eye on a little bit is CoreWeave. CoreWeave is, if you look at the 1-month chart, it has turned around a little bit. It found some support down there at around $70, now 85.71. But I do like that one. But honestly, 251.39 now on Royal Caribbean. Wow. Okay. Those of you who paid attention and didn't listen to me and selling it did pretty good this morning. That's what it means. CRISPR now down 3.39%. Not really seeing much here now. Bitcoin still staying right around the same. Ripple only down 0.93%. So this is a very, very quiet market. Costco, one of my likes here. Costco flat on the day too. So 59.12 now on silver as it's coming back down just a little bit here. It's dry out here in Vegas. All right, Tesla just a little bit to the upside. That's about it. 96.70, 96.83 now. 80. Look at Netflix pushing here. 96.88 now. I'm staying long here. I'm not gonna go short here. I'm staying long on Netflix here. Loving this a little bit. Yep. Yep. Do a do. Fly down 1.1%. They're the one putting things on the moon. So interesting there. I do like that Apple only up 0.24%. This market is quiet. It's quiet as a church mouse. It might get even quieter tomorrow. Netflix could push here. 97 here again. If we can get Netflix over 97, should be good. Got 1 minute to the top of the hour. I will be letting you go as I've got a lot of things going on today for me here in Vegas. But there it is, $97 again. I think we go higher here. I think Netflix pulls a whammy here. It goes big. RCL 251.38. So congrats for those of you who paid attention today. We're playing along with me, 90,300 now on Bitcoin. But we've had a heck of a day. Good morning, a good trading morning already. And I loving this good stuff. Howard will be back tomorrow. I will smack him around, make him get him out of bed earlier. But we will definitely be seeing Howard today or tomorrow. He and I will be doing some kind of video together today at some point. So do expect that to coming out too as well. All right, from all of us here at Quasar Markets, thank you so much for watching, and Mike for reposting, and Zora and Carlo and all the team out there. I really appreciate that. Steve Flanagan I was watching. So hey guys, thank you so much. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.